Okay, Mike, you're going to do the introductions.
I am. Well, this is my friend actually first, and he is one of our city's brightest directors. His name is Jim Schneider, and he is the artistic director of Dead Writers Theater Collective. They're now in their second season. Last year they did The Vortex, Noel Coward's play, which was on my top 10. When I walked in at the theater and saw the set, I'm like, oh my God, this is something finally different in Chicago. And this year they did a new work, Dead Writers is, a play on words, by Adam Payson called Tea with Edie and Fitz, about F. Scott Fitzgerald and Edith Wharton and a meeting that they have, and which kind of culminated like with The Great Gatsby, with the film opening, which was kind of cool. And so, hello, Jim Schneider.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much.
So, why don't you talk about what is your mission for Dead Writers?
Dead Writers was created in order to do plays by or about dead writers in a masterpiece theater style. Growing up, I was very influenced by masterpiece theater, and it's actually what lured me into theater and introduced me to Oscar Wilde and other writers. So I thought, the best way to get people into the classic works is to give them a glimpse of the life of the writer and get them engaged.
So what is the connection now with modern day audiences to get them focused back on classic writing, and how do you make that happen with your theater company?
I think a lot of it, we made a conscious decision that we were going to focus a lot on aesthetics. And there again, when you think of the moniker of masterpiece theater, you think of detail, you think of lush, you think of vibrant, you think of exciting. And so what we tend to do is, we draw people in and bring them into the world of the play. And so when they come in, they come into 1925. We have working antiques on stage. We have antique furniture. We have, we really go to great lengths to create the world of the play. And a lot, after seeing one of our productions, a lot of people have come up and thanked us for presenting these visually stunning things and for transporting them back into a different time and a different place.
And it's very true. As aesthetic as it is, though, you are a great director for actors, because
Thank you,
you get the emotional connection on some of these stories that are, what we see now in a lot of new plays is that everything is right there for you. Some of the classics, you gotta weed through the material to get to the core of what they're doing.
Yes. I was fortunate enough, I'm from Houston originally, and I did the Southwest premiere of one of Horton Foote's plays.
Oh, wow.
And I was fortunate enough, he lived down the road from me, so I was fortunate enough to have Horton Foote involved. And I'll never forget, he came, he saw the work, and he made a comment to me that's really stuck with me. He said, "You have the ability to weave moments together like the threads of a tapestry in order to create a story." And I thought, that's coming from someone else, because as a director, you never stop to think what your strengths really are. You're just busy doing it, and then other people come back and give you that feedback. But I do believe that it's a moment to moment, just as life is. And the thing I always work with the actors about is being in the moment. And that's a very, very hard thing to do night after night after night, because you have to have a certain amount of structure so that they know where they're going, but they cannot lock those moments down. Those moments are going to be different every night. And so you have to have an element of spontaneity to it.
And what you have coming up, well, first, how do you go about planning? You have a plethora of material to choose from.
We do.
We do. There again, we made a conscious decision that starting off, we need to focus on writers that are better known and that are more commercial. So therefore, I'd always wanted to do Jane Austen, and I love Emma.
A lot of people like to do Jane Austen.
So we decided to go with Michael Bloom's adaptation from 2010 that was done at the Cleveland Playhouse of Emma. And